Damn, I wish I planted that is our segment where we are going to talk about something that's going on maybe in somebody else's garden that you're looking at and feeling just a little bit jealous of because it's looking really good. And this is a bit of a challenge right now in mid-December, but all three of us have a fabulous plant. And I'm going to start out. I don't grow this plant, but I did inherit it in my big garden that I moved away from a couple of years ago. And the name of this plant is the Chamaecyparis obtusa, and the cultivar is Willamette Elegance. And I know that's a lot of words. Let me see if this will help you. Hinoki fall cypress. There are a bunch of plants that are Hinoki fall cypress, and what they all have in common is this sort of fan-shaped evergreen action coming out at you, sort of like the size of a toddler's hand, like wanting to shake. Can you picture? If you're on YouTube, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Willamette Elegance is a dwarf, but it's not as dwarfy as some of them. Some of them can only stay at like 3, 4, 5 feet. This was a sport of a really mini one, and it grew even at maturity. And the ones in my old garden are very mature to only 12 to 15 feet. So it's a perfect little specimen tree, not an understory tree because it does enjoy full sun. This is zones 5 through 9. I don't think it can tolerate wet soil, but it's not going to need help. If you're going through a little bit of a drought, it's going to be fine. The species gets 50 feet tall. So do be careful if you want to go smaller, to choose one of the ones that's supposed to get smaller. Researching this was a challenge because literally I'm trying to zero in on what I inherited. And okay, I know it's not that because that's 4 feet tall. And I know it's not that because that one's shaped like a bowling ball. There is a Hinoki fall cypress that is shaped like a bowling ball. Really cool plant. And then I found this, okay, I think it's Willamette Elegance. And then some source said, and this gets to 50 feet tall. So I'm just going to ignore that one and go with most of what I found in research, 12 to 15 feet tall. This is not a favorite for deer. And there are 4 things that I want to tell you that I love about this plant. One is the fan-like foliage. Just it's very, very cool. 2 is that the foliage at this time of year and on into the winter takes on a kind of a strange bluish, shiny tint to it. So it's really cool to cut and bring in. I mean, I have taken little bits of it and attached them to a chandelier to make that look green. It's just the perfect little shape for that. The branching of this tree is horizontal, so it looks to me very elegant, very sculptural. And the 4th thing is that you can increase that look, which I did on these 3 plants that were growing outside of my old house, by taking away about 1/3 of the branches. So now they look like kind of layer cake things. So picture branches going out completely horizontal, but you can look into these trees and see this beautiful kind of, I don't know, a Ralph Lauren designed color brown, beautiful bark. And then they all of a sudden kind of take on that look of a Cornus controversa, the wedding cake dogwood.
Does it lose those needles or scales or whatever the Chamaecyparis loses in the interior of it?
It does.
And they start to, yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is cool. I had actually a beautiful, huge pot, the one that now serves in my new garden as my compost pile, because we're not allowed to have them, and I'm hiding my compost in those. And I ran a fountain in there, and it was really cool.
Well, is this Willamette, as in Willamette Valley in Oregon?
Which I would pronounce Willamette, but you're from the West
Are you
Coast.
saying Willamette?
Okay, listeners from the PNW, please
Weigh in.
shame one of us. I'm not sure which
We're
one
not.
it is,
Well, you
but I'm
can't
actually
shame
wondering if
me.
it is.
Because I'm an
Right.
Easterner who would look at that word and say Willamette, ETT, like kitchenette.
But I'm wondering if it's actually from the PNW. I'm wondering if that is from there. And if it is, and it's an evergreen, is it like a Zeli, which I'm probably also pronouncing wrong, ISELI, the purveyors of beautiful, beautiful evergreens
Ooh.
out there. And I'm wondering if it's one of theirs.
I did not see evidence in my extensive
So,
research.
so
which
when
was
you put it in, you had the name or you didn't have the name?
So
You
I
don't
had to
have the name.
start with Hinoki fall cypress, knew it was that. That's a very distinctive fan of foliage. Then I'm like, okay, that's not 50 to 75 feet tall. Let's stick in the word dwarf. Then we're going things like the little bowling ball one, I forget the name of it, or things that are 3 to 4 feet tall that I used to buy to put in people's planters that will stay small. And then I found one, I'm like, okay, let's just see. What about 12 feet at maturity? And that's what came up. So I think that's what's growing in that old garden of mine.
So we're hoping that this
We're
is the
hoping.
dam I wish I'd planted for that.
I mean, I did the best I could. All right, Amanda, your turn.
Hold on. Leslie.
Yeah?
I had to Google it because the way you described it, it sounded like a tree made of baby toddler hands. And that sounds,
I wonder if AI can help me conjure a picture of that.
Man.
but I'm looking at the picture and it is truly beautiful. But now I can't unsee toddler hands. And I don't think I'll ever plant it. I feel like you may have ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just me being creative and ruining a plant for Amanda.
But
Moving on.
this is the most unique evergreen I feel like I've seen. I really like it. It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's cool. It's a cool plant. I like it too.
Also, I feel like y'all are just gonna have to edit out mine and go with y'all's because I feel like yours was so scientific and well researched, and mine is like, I don't have the Latin name. I don't use Latin names when possible because I feel like I'll never pronounce them right.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that here because we're pronouncing things all different ways. We just want to
Okay.
get the names out there so people know what to actually look for, right?
Here, I'm changing it also. I'm changing it from, wait, what is it called? Damn, I wish I'd planted that to damn, I wish I had planted more of that. And it is calendula, but not boring primary yellow, orange calendula. I hate primary colors. So it's the zeolites or the strawberry blonde calendulas that, or the, there's a bronze one too, that they have the, like a beautiful, almost, I don't know, layered color effect. And I love them because they are also medicinal. I love plants that have dual uses. So these are cold hardy. So on December 19th, in mid to late December, they are growing. They're probably, I don't know, 6 to 12 inches at that time of year if you start them in the fall. And they're blooming for me right now. We had snow last night and they're blooming, and they'll be blooming from now until like next fall. They're so like, they do well in heat, they do well in cold. They're a nice compact plant. I do have some bunny and deer damage sometimes depending on where they're planted. That's a little unfortunate. So I don't have the Latin name for you. I don't have the zones for you.
Well, I think it's calendula. I think
I'm
it's
just
actually
telling you.
I think
calendula.
the Latin is calendula. I do. Yeah.
Alice, and maybe I don't know. I have to go back.
How did you know to grow it and that it would grow so well in winter?
Because Lisa Mason Ziegler, with her Cold Hardy Annual, her cool flowers,
That was
it's
such a
one of
great
hers.
book.
Pick up an inexpensive pack of seeds in August and start those seeds, whether you direct sow them or start them inside in like September. And then they are so cold hardy. They need no protection, at least zone 7. Sorry for you colder people. You'll have to actually do some research. But that is mine. I wish I had them everywhere. They make me so happy because they're these little pops of color all through winter.
I have a question for you because you grow a lot of veg. And I know you have some raised beds at least. Yes, besides your
Mhm.
garden beds, you have raised beds. Do you grow these in raised beds to keep them away from the bunnies because you're not growing a lot of veg in winter?
So I like to hedge my bets and grow almost everything I grow in multiple locations. So I grow them in the ground in the front yard. I grow them in the ground in the backyard. I grow them in the vegetable raised beds. I grow them in the flower raised beds. I grow them in pots on my deck. I grow them everywhere because then I'll have at least some.
I love
Okay,
it.
and then this is all from seed, right?
Yes, I grow everything from seed.
Do you still
Okay,
do
cool.
those funny brownie sort of, what do you call those things?
Soil
They,
block.
yeah, they look like brownies to me. Is it soil blocks. Have you ever done that, Marianne?
Oh, soil blocks. No, I have a soil blocker thing that I
Can we get
haven't
Amanda?
done
Can we just,
it.
I'm sorry, this is too good. Can you just explain that really fast to listeners? It's a cool topic.
Yes. So I actually used to have the original hard on your hand type of soil blocker, but I switched to one that is more ergonomically designed and actually has some benefits to it. Like you can actually see the soil blocks. I actually have really bad carpal tunnel and arthritis. So I probably would have stopped doing it with the other one. And then this one came out. And the benefits of soil blocking are that you don't have to use any like plastic pots, and when the roots are spreading out in this block, when they reach the air, they self prune, and so they start branching more. There's less transplant shock because you're not trying to bang something out of a pot to plant it. The watering can be a little tricky. You have to just that's a learning curve with the watering, how much water to give them. But you can seed these blocks before you press them out. You can sow so many seeds so fast, and they don't take up a ton of space, especially if you're doing it in your dining room like me. I'm just obsessed with soil blocks.
Nice.
I'm feeling sold. Maybe I will actually try out that little
And none of those
gadget that I
plastic
have.
pots. We will direct you toward some of Amanda's
Yeah.
wonderful information that she's put on that, because I know you've done a lot of getting the good word out on those, and we just need to point our listeners to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean, I
do
don't
that on
care.
Substack Notes, Links, and Laughs.
If you prefer the one that, if you don't have wrist and hand problems, like use the other one. It doesn't matter which one you use. They all provide the same like benefit in terms of the plant health.
Very good information. Calendula. Thank you.
Calendula,
Right.
and calendula's blooming for me, and I really love it, and it's a fabulous healing plant, so I'm all on top
Do you
of that.
actually use it medicinally, Marianne?
No, I look at it and think about using it medicinally, but I never do. But
Sounds like something I
I
would do.
will say I did use calendula a lot back in my childbearing years. So like a lot of sitz baths on calendula after childbirth, let me just say.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's how
there
it
you go.
heals you.
That's more than anybody needed to ever know.
And it's also edible. So I should have put a bloom in my drink tonight. It's edible too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, yeah, we're going out with a bang on this one, huh?
All right, it's almost Christmas time. So what's your plant? I just dropped a big hint, listeners.
All right, so I'm doing Polystichum or Polystichum, however you want to say it. Acrostichoides. That's the part that gets me wrong. There's no N in there. Acrostichoides. Christmas fern is basically what it is. And this is a beautiful evergreen fern that is native to North America. It is everywhere in my woods, and it truly is evergreen for me. By the end of the winter, it's looking a little beaten. It's looking a little browned, but there's still a lot of evergreen in there. And then you have these beautiful silver, what are they, croziers coming up. Absolutely gorgeous in the early spring. Those older leaves, I have heard, I do not know if this is true, but especially because they're on banks, that it can sort of hold soil because there's a lot of them. And I noticed that they're on a lot of my banks. But at this time of year, it's evergreen, it's gorgeous, Christmas time, there it is. And I believe there's so many different reasons for why it's called Christmas fern. People say that it's because the actual frond is sort of bent, slightly bent, and it looks like a stocking. But I went back to, I pulled it out here. I have an actual book. I do use them.
Book.
This is,
Here's a book moment from Marianne Wilbur.
and this is by John Mickle, and it's Ferns for American Gardens. He says that it is because that settlers used them at Christmas time because they were evergreen, and we're talking on the East Coast here. So they like moisture, but they do well in drought. All of the pinnae are very waxy and hard wearing, and they seem to do very well in drought. And it's just a beautiful fern that is worth using. If you've never had one, get one because A, it's not patented, and B, it's rhizomatic. It moves out, and those little branches, those little rhizomes will allow you to grab the branches that are coming up and to divide it. So it's a terrific fern to use.
Like most ferns, deer won't touch it. Yeah, bunnies won't touch it.
Yeah, deer do not touch it. Bunnies do not touch. I mean, for me, deer do not touch it. Bunnies do not touch it. And I think that tends to be the way it is. It's zones 3 to 9, I
Big.
believe, and which is a nice big open space. Probably not good for the Southwest desert, but tremendous for a lot of different places.
Well, there we have it. 3 great plants that you can make your neighbors jealous with, possibly next season.